This P-51D model Mustang was acquired in 2018. It was produced at the main North American aviation plant in Inglewood, California back in 1944. After the war, it went to civilian ownership, where it would eventually find a home in the personal collection of Mr. Tom Contry of Reno, Nevada, and it remained there until 2017. And acquired by a private collection, it's now on loan to the American Air Power Museum and flies regularly at the museum and at air shows and events, primarily here in the northeast part of the country. Flown today, if you will, by a guy, you know, this is a North American airplane, but it's flown by a guy named Tom Richard from Sweden. And Tom, when he was a young boy, dreamed of flying American World War II warplanes and racing at the National Championship Air Races in Reno, Nevada. And when he was 17 years old, Tom Richard's grandfather in Sweden gave him $2,500, and Tom came to America to fulfill his dream. And Tom Richard now has Warbird Adventures down in Kissimmee, Florida, where he does checkout and familiarization flights in the P-40 Warhawk and the North American T-6 Texan. WarbirdAdventures.com. His favorite airplane is the Curtiss P-40 Warhawk, and he has a special one that's outfitted with dual controls, the only one of its type, and he calls it American Dream. But Tom Richard today in the hands of at the controls, I should say, of the North American Mustang.
It's all right.
This was also the type of airplane flown by the Tuskegee Airmen, the United States Army Air Force's first African-American squadron. At first, the Tuskegee Airmen were shunned by the American bomber pilots, but they paid attention to what their task was, and that was not to chase after German fighters to get aerial victories or kills, but to stay with the bombers and protect them. And soon they became the most requested squadron to escort bombers over German-occupied Europe. And the P-51 Mustang was so good with its very radical laminar flow wing and its Rolls-Royce designed Packard-built Merlin engine that then Senator Harry Truman and his Senate War Investigating Committee called the P-51 Mustang the most aerodynamically perfect pursuit plane in existence. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a round of applause for all the aircraft of the American Air Power Museum, brought to you by Cockpit USA, Newsday, Hillside Honda, and Focus Financial Partners, and also the B-25 Mitchell Bomber, brought to you by Hulu Streaming and the Catch-22 series. You can see the stripes painted on that airplane, as we did also on the C-47 as it flew by. Those stripes were painted on all Allied aircraft at the time.